Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be an after dark writing session for NaNoWriMo. I am incredibly behind and I need to catch up. So stay tuned for my tips and tricks on how not to be a tardy nano writer. As I am desperately behind on my NaNoWriMo and need to catch up, as I decided late last week to jump on the bandwagon after adamantly saying that I wasn't going to participate this year. I found that seeing all the Instagram stories and videos going up was just a bit too much, and I kind of wanted to hop on too. As you can see, Fable also wants to write a novel in a month, so let's get this vlog started. I am going to have to be a little bit on the quiet side as Seth is in bed and it's currently nearly 10 o'clock at night. I basically need to figure out where I'm going with this story, make a plan, and also be very realistic of the fact that it's currently November the 15th. We're halfway through November and thus halfway through NaNoWriMo, and I have only just a couple words off 5,000 words in the entirety of my Nano manuscript, which isn't enough. It's dismal. It's shocking, really. But then, considering the fact that I jumped on the Nano train late, it's not surprising that I've missed a few stops. So what I'm going to do today is make a brief plan as to outline, plot, etc. I need to go through what I've already written, find all the names and characters, and also going to discuss a few techniques as to how I plan to catch up. So first things first, we are going to grab a piece of paper and decide on where we're going to put this cat's tail, because it's kind of in the way and I don't need that on my desk right now. And in other news, we are going to figure out where we are taking this story. So grab a piece of paper and a pen and work on a 6-act structure. So for those of you who are not familiar with a 6-act structure, it basically goes on the premise of 3 very simple things. Act 1 and Act 2 are the setup of the story, Acts 3 and 4 are the main confrontation, and Acts 5 and 6 are the resolution. I use a very similar method whenever I am constructing short stories, so this is fairly familiar to me, and I will basically be plotting out with bullet points. As you'll see from my brief little diagram, there's not much on this piece of paper at the moment, other than knowing what I want each of the books to be called in the trilogy. I have zip information, so this is basically going to be a book on a few things that I've been thinking about. I've wanted to write a first-person satire fantasy for quite a while, so this is what that is. It's basically just supposed to be a bit of fun, but I would also like to get a novel out of it in the end. So I need to come up with a few more bits of information on this and see where I can fill in the blanks. I have some other notes that I've been making over the last couple of months as I had the general idea for the book, so I'll use those to flesh this out, and I'm also going to pop on Pinterest and see where I am at with my storyboard on Pinterest, see if I can find a few more things to add into that. That is linked on my NaNoWriMo page, and I will leave the link for NaNoWriMo and my profile in the description box, so please do feel free to cheer or jeer me across over there. I always welcome people's comments, so let me know how you're getting on with your NaNoWriMo as well. So we're going to start filling in these blanks, and then I'm going to let you know how I'm going to catch up on this mishiva. Okay, so as you can see, I currently don't have all that much on my Pinterest board. There's a few aesthetic bits and pieces, costume ideas, and a few mythological creatures that I've got some reference images for, as I know they are included. Obviously, being mythical creatures, you can't really find all that much information on them, so it has to be artists' interpretations. But the nice thing about Pinterest is I can gather ideas and put as much visual representations in as I like, to refer back to as I'm writing. So basically now all that's left to do is figure out what else I need from this to go into my story. Okay, so what I am doing now is just going through the manuscript that I've already written, finding all the character names, descriptions, any cultural references, world building, historical figures, potions, all that jazz, and creating a list on paper. This will be put digitally onto the computer in Google Docs, as that way I will always have it for reference no matter where I am in the house. If I'm writing out in the garden, I've got it on my phone, laptop, computer, so it doesn't matter where I am. I have no excuse not to be productive where my Nano project is concerned, and that is tip number one that I would give anyone trying to catch up with a project or trying to be a more productive writer in general, is if you've only got 5 minutes, you've only got 5 minutes. There's nothing to say that you can't be productive in that 5 minutes. I did a 5-minute writing sprint the other day on Twitter, and I actually got 251 words, which to some people may not sound like a lot and to others might be a massive amount. And at the end of the day, that's 251 words that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't spent 5 minutes on my project. So always set a timer and do a writing sprint if you don't have much time, as you never know where you're going to get. Okay, so that is all my notes and bits and pieces done. Very quick rough outline drawn up, and I've extracted all the information from my current word count that I needed to continue onwards. So what I'm going to do now is actually tip number 2, which is to force yourself into a word count. So I've written about this on my blog, A Gentlewoman and a Scholar.com before, where I reviewed the most dangerous writing app. What this app entails is it actually has a couple different features which are of benefit to writers if you really can't be bothered to write, or if you're just really struggling to get the words on the page, as this app will actually start to delete words if you stop typing for more than say 5 seconds, and it will start to delete your words until the entirety of what you've written is completely gone. So it is really imperative to not think too much and just crack on with it. So with this writing app, you log on to type into Google dangerous writing app.com, and it will come up in the search engine. I'll also link it in the comments down below. But the nice thing about this is if you need a prompt, you're completely stuck, you can generate a prompt on here, and otherwise you can just start without a prompt and click here, and it will take you to the word processor and you just start typing. Now, the feature that I particularly like on here is you can increase to hardcore mode if you are feeling particularly saucy today, and you can set your timer from 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 and 60 minutes depending on how long you want to write for. So if you want to do a quick word sprint, brilliant, set it for however long. If you want to do a slightly longer writing session, again, go for it. However, I would say that if you are new to this app, I wouldn't go straight to 30, 60-minute sessions, as that is called the Dangerous Writing app for a reason. It brings writers to tears, basically. With the other setting on words, if you click on here, it does actually allow you to set a word goal. So again, you've got 75, 150, 250, 500 and 1667. Now, for those of you who have been participating in NaNoWriMo before, or who have actually just read up on it, you will notice that 1667 is roughly the exact same number. I believe it's 1666 that you actually need for Nano, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's basically a Nano daily word goal. So if you are participating in Nano and so far you are up to date on your word count, try giving that a go. So for me, I would be aiming to hit that twice a day now, because I am 15 days into it, and by my little maths equations that I've worked out, I need roughly 3,333 words a day, or 3,334 actually is, to be able to complete now in the next 15 days. So I need to hit that twice a day, so I can basically come onto the Dangerous Writing app in the morning, in the evening, and try and hit it twice, or I can break it up and try and do it in a few smaller, more regular chunks. So I am now going to pop on here. I'm not going to attempt to try and do 1,667 words at 10:30 at night, as I have already done 500 words already. So I am just going to try and do a quick 5-minute sprint, see where I get, and figure out where I'm going to start fresh in the morning. Not sure if you can see this very clearly, but I've just set another page so no one can see the manuscript, but this is my current word count after a few more writing sprints this evening. It's currently at 6,575, which isn't fantastic, but it is an improvement. And I do believe I've pretty much hit the NaNoWriMo daily word count today now. This isn't the full manuscript in a linear fashion. I've written some notes and some in the form of other scenes, which I've included at the end of my current manuscript. So some of this word count is for later scenes which aren't complete, but I wanted to get the ideas down whilst they were in my head. So this is where I will probably leave it off tonight. I'm going to do one more writing sprint, see how I get on, and then we will start fresh tomorrow. Okay, so I have just done a quick 5-minute writing sprint using the Most Dangerous Writing app. I didn't get too many words done. I did 150, so not my best, not my worst. I did end up making a few more notes in my 6 acts, and I'm very aware of the fact that I still don't completely know where this story's going. That is completely a reflection on me and the fact that this started off as an inkling of an idea, and at the moment it's just a bunch of scenes without any plotline whatsoever, really. I'm trying to turn it into a coherent story, but at the moment it really does still look like I have no idea where I'm going. But I started Nano late. I haven't participated at all in Preptober, which if I was going to attempt something like this, I usually would have, because as the saying says, a failure to plan is planning to fail. So we are currently catching up with the plan before we continue forward. I did just quickly run in and check on Seth, who is still sound asleep, thankfully, because I was worried I'd disturb him a bit doing this video, and I made myself a cup of tea, which is very important, right as fuel. So I'm not really sure where I'm going from here. I think what I might do is just go back over my notes again and basically try and set up tomorrow's chapters. So go through, decide on which of my beats and my acts I'm going to work on tomorrow, set it up in my Word document so that tomorrow I can literally just crack on with it. So I'm going to leave it here for now, and I will catch up with everyone later on in the month and see how I'm progressing, or whether or not this whole death by NaNoWriMo actually works or not. So we'll see you next time. Bye.